And here I thought we were going to have an amazing start to the 2025 season. Besides old Jimmy kicking the bucket and fires blazing through California, I think the most egregious, most heinous act of this year so far is that scalpers are at it again. For those of you who don't know, there's big drama in the Pokemon community. This stems from their newest TCG set called Prismatic Evolutions. From what I gathered, it's a very popular set containing some pretty cool looking evolution card art that's sure to cost a pretty penny in the future. By in the future, I of course mean in about a month or two, since scalpers are buying them up left and right. People are at war trying to get their hands on this set, honestly. I'm talking Omaha Beach levels of violence trying to get their hands on these beauties.
Hey, hold on.
That video was of people biting each other's heads off trying to get a set called 151 Waters Collection, which hasn't even officially released yet. Apparently, it was last year's holiday release set. I think it's scheduled to release in February. Apparently, Costco got their hands on it a bit early, and people got wind of that, so they decided to go out and grab themselves some. That was the result of that. Of course, I'm not saying that people in this video are scalpers, but there are businesses that are cashing in on this by swindling large quantities of product right under the noses of trusted retailers who have been selling product like this for literal years, basically undercutting their profits for pennies on the dollar, if you will. I'm going to read some of this article to you, which pretty much covers everything that I've been talking about. I won't read the whole thing, but I will put it in the description for those of you who do want to read the entirety of it. I'm just going to read a couple things to just quickly summarize what's going on. So, according to this post, they got some news from actual retailer, and he's pretty much gave his 2 cents on it, saying, "I think a large, I'll say, saying I think a large part of the issue is stores who do not normally order Pokemon cards are requesting to buy this set from distributors. Think small bookstores, tabletop game stores, and other TCG adjacent stores. So, bookstores, like small niche bookstores, and probably even bigger bookstores like Barnes and Noble, are buying these sets and swindling them from under the noses of well established TCG dist- uh, distributors or storefronts rather. This means there is nowhere near enough product to go around. Distributors are still giving loyal Pokemon stores a higher percentage of supplies, such as my store, but the actual amount of product a store receives is diluted because so many other stores want the product. Strategically, distributors want to give product to as many stores as possible to retain as many accounts as possible. So basically, what I just read out of that is while his store is doing good, and there are other TCG storefronts that are doing good, the distributor the people who are giving out these cards to these stores don't want to reliably give a bulk of their product to the reliable people, especially when they have higher accounts like Costco or Walmart buying up these cards, because those are bigger stores. Those are bigger storefronts that they can put their product into, and they know people will go there to buy their stuff. Adversely, this directly undercuts the loyal customers who have bought from the distributors for years on end, but they don't give a fuck. They really don't care. They don't care, is what I'm hearing. Is what I'm reading, is they don't care. I'm going to go down a little bit. It says, I don't think a lot of Pokemon stores thought it was going to be this bad. Thankfully, my store anticipated the allocations would be brutal for this set, so we only allotted a modest amount of pre orders. We will sell most of our product in shop. If you are a newer store that keeps pre orders open before you found out how much you were going to receive, you likely ran out and had to cancel pre orders. So basically, what Ben DeGuire, the owner for Player One Services, that's the name of his store, by the way. So what Mr. DeGuire did, the owner of Player One Services, what he did to combat scalpers is basically he's going to sell a lot of it in shop so that people can't pre-order it off the shop and hold it and basically snatch it away from other players, which I honestly believe PlayStation should have did, but that's neither here or there. See, one could argue TPCI should have foreseen this set was going to be more popular than the other sets and attempted to print more of those other sets, but I think they already had a printing capacity and they simply needed more lead time or additional printing facilities to satisfy demand, which makes sense because a lot of times there are a lot of distributors. For instance, it happens a lot in Yu-Gi-Oh, where they print a certain amount of cards, not understanding just how rabid their fan base is for these sets. Like Yu-Gi-Oh is asshole expensive, and while Pokemon is still relatively cheap compared to other card games, it still has a very rabid fan base, and they're going to do whatever it takes to get their hands on this, even if it means buying from a secondhand store, which the article also talks about how much the secondary markets are. See, however, the product may be cleared out by scalpers before fans can even set their eyes on, like what I was just talking about. Currently, Elite Trainer box for Prismatic Evolutions is $127 on the secondary market, which means scalpers are selling this for damn near double the price it retails for, which is $55. And the set hasn't even been released yet, which is the crazy part. It's really wild to me the level of footwork that scalpers put in order to buy very niche things at that. Very niche things in order to jack up the price and make life living hell for those who really care about it. Honestly, it's a truly dog eat dog world out here. The more I think about it, especially in the TC distribution world. And I think it's really slimy that multi-million-dollar companies are trying to cash in on this, as if it would yield them any significant amount of money at all. Like it would gain them literally nothing, like nothing at all. This is like Mr. Krabs selling SpongeBob for 62 cents. They literally gain nothing from buying up all this product. Like they're diverting a lot of the profit that can go into the reliable, loyal local storefronts, and diverting the profit into the abyssal money pit that a giant conglomerate is. But that's corporate greed for you, obviously. But yeah, I saw this tidbit on my feed, and I really want to go over it a little bit. I'm not a big Pokemon TCG fan, but I do like card games. Period. So I thought it would be nice to share this information with you guys without any of the diluted rigmarole. And that's about the meat and potatoes of it. So peace.